Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Digesting Life. I'm your host, Maya Nicole, and today I kind of just wanted to make this episode about just recent life updates since I haven't really been posting as many podcasts back to back. I just wanted to give some updates because I know I've been a little absent, and that's just because a lot of stuff has changed in the last month and changed for the good. Um, I mean, May was a really good month. I mean, it still is May right now, but I'm currently 4 months into my new job post grad. I actually hit my 4 months today, so that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, at first, I mean, it's really hard, getting out of college and getting a new job because you feel that imposter syndrome, like, really heavily, unless you're, like, freaking amazing at everything you do right away, without training or learning anything. Um, but for me, I mean, and I saw a video on this on TikTok today. This girl was talking about how she has been working at her job for, like, almost a year and still feels imposter syndrome. Um but I mean, it's like, college prepares you a lot for what you're gonna be doing in the future, but I don't think it will completely prepare you. I mean, I definitely didn't feel completely prepared for my job. So, now, I mean, I'm at a really great spot. Like, the first month and a half to 2 months was a little not great, but, um, I've been feeling really good. I mean, it's been great because a lot of things I've been doing for this company has been really good, and like I've been learning a lot, and I've just felt a lot more confident with all the tasks that I'm doing day to day. And like in the beginning, I remember somebody would ask me like to do something and I'd be like, literally, what does that even mean? And like then I'd sit there being like, do I look dumb for not knowing this? But it's like, girl, you're literally new, like chill. um and, some people will forget that you're new, um, just because they've been in the game for so long. But yeah, so I mean, 4 months in, I'm feeling pretty good, which is, I mean, honestly great to say because I didn't know if I'd get here, I didn't think. I mean, I was worried that I'd feel imposter syndrome for forever. And sometimes I still do, but I mean, I feel really good, especially as of lately. Um, and so aside from work, my boyfriend, he moved home and we didn't think he'd be moving home until his lease was up, which we've been long distance for uh, ever since I graduated, so in December. But we've been 2 hours apart, which isn't bad at all. Like there are literally people in different countries than their significant others, so I'm not trying to complain. Um but I mean, a distance is a distance, and I would always call ours like medium distance. Um, but you can do a day trip, but you just feel super exhausted after it. But he was supposed to move home end of July, right in the beginning of August. Um, but he moved home May 1st, and because he got a new job, and I'm really happy for him. And um, I mean, it's just been amazing. It's past mid-May now, but oh my god, it's almost June. That's literally crazy. June is like 7 days away. Ugh, god. Anyways, um but so yeah, so he moved home and it's been amazing. We picked up pickleball and tennis and we are absolute rock stars. Um I mean, it's been so much fun. We have really taken the time to enjoy our outside time, especially because, you know, I'm cooped up in an office all day, and so is he most of the time. Um, but I mean, I'm in here. This is my office. If you're watching on YouTube, this is where I work from. And I know in the background, like there's guitars and instruments behind me, but that's just for the aesthetic. I do play, but it's right now it's for the aesthetic because I didn't know what else to put in my background because I typically am on Zoom from this room. So, anyways, yeah, so I'm inside all day usually for work, and picking up tennis and pickleball has gotten me outdoors, and it has gotten me out of the gym a little bit. Like I've still been going, but like it's a lot of physical activity, and I just wanna be outside a lot before it gets, like, unbearably hot, and then, like, it's almost too hot to enjoy, like, playing outside, like, at least a sport, you know? Um, Especially with tennis, you're, like, running all over the place, especially if you play against my boyfriend, good lord, like, he will send you running because he doesn't know how to play. Neither do I really, but, I mean, god, like, if you watched us play, you'd be like, "Good lord." But, we're phenomenal at pickleball. But anyways, so, yeah, I mean, just a lot of really good changes, and I'm moving to Richmond next month to be closer to my job, and I'm moving in with one of my closest friends, and I'm super excited to be living with her. Um so I met her in college, and we had the same major, the same concentration, the same minor. So we were in all the same classes together. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we kind of have like a similar friend group. And I'm super excited for when we all get to hang out again because it'll feel like how it was at college. And yeah, and I'm gonna meet her friends, and then I have a lot of friends who moved out to Richmond after college. So I'm really excited to see all of them, because I think it'll just be really good for me, to be closer to work and be closer to all my friends. And um, I know that Cam just moved home. I don't know if I've ever said my boyfriend's name on this podcast. His name is Cam, but I know he just moved home, and I'm literally moving away a month later. But I mean, my whole life I've always told myself like I'm gonna follow my plan no matter what. And I don't want to say like I'm not gonna let a man stop me from doing what I want, but it's like I don't want like I don't wanna base my life off of someone else, and, you know, he's gonna be there with me, and the good thing is that I mean, right now, currently, with him moved home, we're 30 minutes apart because we're on opposite sides of town. Um, so the way we think about it is Richmond is an hour away from here. What's another 30 minutes? So I think it'll be honestly amazing, and he'll get to come up and visit me, and we'll get to do a ton of stuff in Richmond because Richmond can be really fun. I mean, there's a ton of stuff to do. The community's great, and the shopping is real fun. I'm excited about that, but not excited for my bank account because the malls over there are real fun. But, yeah, so a lot of really good changes, and it's just been a really fun month. I also got to watch my best friend get married, and that was really fun, because I know her now husband, which is, like, actually insane to say. But yeah, I know her and her husband from when I worked at Target, and, yeah, so it was just a really good month, especially, like, April was good, but May was great, and, I hope the rest of May will be great, but yeah, so another thing I wanted to talk about was, throughout the time that I wasn't filming or doing podcasting, this past month, I just kind of felt a little, uninspired, and I felt like kind of like in this drought period where it was like, "What do I talk about? Like, what do I contribute to this podcast?" Because it can be really hard to just sit here and stare at yourself while talking to yourself. Um, when I know I've only ever had 2 guests on this podcast, but it was a drastic difference. Like, sitting there and talking with them was so fun. We could have gone on for hours and hours. Like, literally with Katie, we were on a timeline because she had to go do some photo shoots, but, we were like, "Man, like, we have to stop talking, and, like, wrap this up." And same thing with Kai, like, we she came to my house and we talked for, like, an hour before the podcast, and then we talked for, like, 2 hours during the podcast and only stopped because all of my equipment was dying, and we were far away from, like, outlets and everything, so we couldn't plug anything in. So we were like, "Man, now we gotta wrap it up." And then, we kept talking after that, like, off camera. So it's like it is such a drastic difference, like, sitting there with those 2 ladies, like, it was just so fun, and I couldn't stop talking, and here by myself, it's like, I lose my train of thought or, like, and I can't get myself back on track or, like, I don't know, like, it's just weird because 'cause I'm sitting here, like, recording through this platform where I can see myself And that's why if you watch me on YouTube, you'll see that my eyes look like I'm reading off of something, but I'm literally just staring at myself just because it feels weird to look up at this camera, um, because I can see myself moving in my peripheral and I feel terribly, like, awkward. Um, so, yeah, there's a deer, and it really scared the crap out of me. So yeah, anyways, on that topic, I just felt really uninspired and I just didn't really know what to talk about. And it can be just really hard to sit here and talk to yourself. So I know that when I moved to Richmond, like my roomie and I will record some podcasts, and my friends, like my best friend, she lives up there. So we'll be recording some too. And I'm just really excited because I mean, I think there'll be a lot more conversation on the podcast than just me sitting here and talking to myself. And on that topic too, I mean, I was doing all these episodes about advice and everything for like post grad. I mean, before graduating and everything, like trying to give all this good advice and just based off of my experiences. But it was like, sometimes I feel like I need to practice what I preach, and I mean, I know I've talked to a lot of people about this, and I mean, you can dish some really good advice and then not take your own just because it's hard. I mean, it's really easy to give other people advice rather than just take it on your own. Um, and I feel like that's partially my issue, like, especially with the episode that I did about not comparing yourself to others and social media and all that. I feel like, that's been a little bit of a challenge for me recently because, it's summertime now, and, this is my first summer, um, after graduating without having a real summer break. And I'm just still trying to get used to that and seeing everybody post at the beach and, their summer vacations and what they're doing for break, like it was kind of making me feel a little bad and like regretful of all the hard work I did to graduate early. And I kind of like discounted that. Like I was like, man, like I should have just graduated on time because I could have had one last summer and then worked the rest of my life. Whereas now, like I'm in it and I'm working the rest of my life. And that's kind of like a negative mindset. Um, and it just started making me really feel bad because I was aware that that was like a negative mindset. I just didn't know how to get out of it because, I'm in it. So I really had to take the time to think to myself, like, how can I make myself feel better when I see these people's posts on their stories? And, sometimes there's just not a way to make yourself feel better, in the immediate moment. I know for a lot of people, it's better to just sit there and let yourself feel the emotions you need to feel rather than pushing them away. And it's kind of like, mentally blocking it out. But I don't know. I mean, what's helped me has been to just either not watch the stories at all or just be like, you know what? At least I am like way richer than I was a year ago? And I'm not rich. Like don't get that wrong. No, I'm not rich. But like compared to how I was a year ago, I mean, I know I've been working for forever. I've been working since I was 14 years old. Um but when you're going to school all the time and doing all this extra stuff, you're not making a fat paycheck as if you were working all the time. And now that I'm working all the time and it's all I really do other than my outside activities, um, you know, I'm at a much better place financially. So, I mean, that's what I have to be grateful for. So I kind of look at it as glass half full rather than glass half empty. Um, and I mean, that's just what I've been trying to do lately. And another thing too, I read this somewhere, but I don't remember where, but somebody said that the hardest thing in life to do is to be positive because in life there's so many negative things going on. I mean, you think about it, your social media is filled with negativity sometimes. Your TikTok feed will be happy with like 1 second, and then with another swipe, it's like the saddest video you've ever seen. And then the news can be really negative, and like people around you can be negative, people at work can be negative, like your friends, like, I mean, and granted, things happen, but it's like there is so much negativity in life, and it can be really hard to be positive with all of that. So I feel like especially as of lately, like, I've just been trying to do whatever I can do for myself just to make myself happier, and, I mean, I know that my boyfriend did just move home, so that does change a lot of things. Because like, when he was, away and we couldn't see each other all the time because we were constantly working, um, it was just, like, all I could think about was, like, I can't wait till he moves home, and I just wish he were here because I wanna hang out with him, but it's like, you have to live for yourself too, and, but now, like, with him home, like, it's just been a lot easier, my mind has been a lot more clearer, and I know for a lot of people with long distance relationships, like, it can just feel like you're living until the next time you see each other, but it's like, you gotta live your own life. But, yeah, so I just felt like going back to a topic that I was on a while ago before I went on this tangent, um, it can be really hard to stay positive through everything that you've got going on, through everything that's in your mind, and I just feel like as of lately, I've just tried to block all that out and just live in the moment, and especially during that, like, drought period where I was uninspired with the podcast, like, I kind of felt like, I was living the same day over and over again. Because at the time, I wasn't playing pickleball or tennis, and I wasn't outside, and, Cam was away, and my friends were away, and now, like, things aren't feeling the same anymore. It's like my days are actually different. Instead of, waking up, going to work, eating and sleeping and repeat, it's been so much different. It's been like, "Oh, am I gonna play pickleball today? Am I gonna get stomped by some 60-year-olds at pickleball and tennis today? Am I gonna go to the gym today? Am I gonna film a podcast? Like, my parents like to go watch baseball games, because the Fred Nats are over in this area, so they like to go over there and sometimes I'll go. It's like, I mean, I haven't been going as much this year as I did last year. But it's just there's so many different options as to what I could be doing. And especially now that I'm moving into an apartment soon, like I get to pack and I get to pick out decorations, and it's like I just have so much to look forward to because things are just going to be so fun. And yeah, so I don't know. Things have definitely been super, super different and super great. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about today. I just really wanted to use this episode as like a general update to my life and what's been going on. Um, just because I feel like there's just been a lot of good things and it's been very positive, and like I really like to talk about positive things when they do happen because sometimes I don't know if you feel this, but sometimes when like the negative can outweigh the good sometimes. So, I just like to highlight on my positives just so I can look back and remember because, if negative times do come up, then I can just, rewatch and be like, oh, yeah, that was a pretty good month. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to my life updates and everything. And I'll hopefully be back to a normal schedule with uploading and everything. Um, but with, my move-in and everything coming, quickly in a few weeks, I will try my best. But yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to tell you guys all about how everything's going when that does come around. But until then, I will see you guys on the next episode of Digesting Life. Bye.